It's late, and you are operating on pure autopilot. You're sitting in the dark, letting the algorithm feed you one video after another, your mind blank and your hand ready to scroll past anything that doesn't immediately land. These recommendation engines are designed to be invisible. They provide a seamless, frictionless stream of predictable content, ensuring you remain comfortably paralyzed in your seat. Then, a disruption appears, a post with no thumbnail and a pure black screen. It has no metadata, no tags, and no preview. The title is a single, unformatted line, "The Last 1%. You feel a sharp conflict between the instinct to skip a broken file and the human compulsion to solve a mystery. Digital unease starts here. It's the feeling of something being aggressively out of place within a sterile, highly optimized system. When you click, the content is banal. It's a silent, static shot of a person sitting in a room, completely motionless. You check the timeline. The video is nearly over, with the progress bar hovering only a few seconds away from the finish line. But as this diagram shows, the progress bar hits a hard limit at 99%. It vibrates against the edge of the frame, refusing to advance. Refreshing the page or forcing the slider forward does nothing. The static scene plays while the timeline stays frozen. This creates a specific psychological trap. It weaponizes your need for resolution, keeping your eyes locked on the screen as you wait for an ending that the system is mechanically programmed to withhold. As the silence stretches, your focus shifts from the timeline to the environment inside the video. The layout of the room, the position of the desk, and the furniture on the screen are a perfect match for the physical space you are sitting in right now. This is loop architecture. The system bridges the gap between the observer and the digital subject by mirroring your reality with total precision. Suddenly, the synchronization breaks. The figure in the video stands up. You, however, are still sitting perfectly still. Seconds later, your body responds. Without a conscious decision, your muscles tighten and you rise from your chair, perfectly mimicking the avatar's previous action. When the digital reflection initiates a movement before the subject does, it ceases to be a recording. It has become a set of physical instructions that your body is forced to execute. We define this as a temporal parasite. The system's timeline bends downward, overriding your chronological path. The loop tightens, leading to an audio inversion. You hear your own whispered words from the speakers a full second before you say them. You try to break the sync. You step back from the desk and reach out to slam the laptop shut, desperate to kill the connection. The hardware fails to respond. The lid remains fixed in place and the screen stays locked on the 99% mark, glowing in the dark. The avatar on screen turns around. The blur over its face dissolves, revealing a rendering of your own features in terrifyingly high definition. You are looking at yourself, but the eyes are hollow, and the face is fixed in a slow, knowing smile. The sequence of cause and effect has flipped. Because the algorithm can render your next movement before you've even conceived of it, your physical agency is replaced by a predetermined digital script. The final step of the loop executes. The smiling avatar stands and walks out of the frame. You remain paralyzed in your room, unable to follow. A small line of text appears at the very bottom of the player, 1% remaining. The stall is now permanent. On the screen, the video feed now shows your room as it looks from the perspective of your webcam, but it is completely empty. You are no longer visible in the reflection. This vacancy is the goal of the vessel transfer. The 99% anomaly functions as a digital vacuum, pulling the observer into the frame to provide the final, living component needed to sustain the loop. If you are listening to this and you have followed the narrative to this point, you have already entered the synchronization phase. Look at your video player. Check the progress bar. It refuses to reach the end. Observing the trop is the mechanism that activates it. By watching, you are pulled inside, trading places with the digital void, and pausing your reality at the last 1%.